I'm Capitol Television's Dave Barber, coming to you today from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House, Smith Hill, Providence, Rhode Island. And what we like to do is corral some members of the General Assembly right before session and talk to them about things they've been working on and what impact it might have on you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman we've had the pleasure of interviewing before, the Honorable State Representative Jared Nunes. Representative, it's great to see you.
Good to see you too, Dave. Thanks for having me here, and thanks for your listeners for tuning in.
Well, listen, we appreciate you taking time because some interesting things have been going on, and I know the folks in West Warwick must be pleased with your work and efforts. I know it wasn't easy with the public library in West Warwick. Can you tell our viewers what happened and how you intervened?
Yeah, ultimately the town was put in a position where they couldn't meet the maintenance of effort requirements for the library funding. So last year we had drafted a bill to circumvent the maintenance of effort so that they would be able to reduce the amount of funding they provided to the library, and the state would still provide the $700,000 of funding that they provide. And that bill got lost in the shuffle last year, on the last day of session, and it didn't end up getting passed. And we got into a time crunch with the library. They couldn't, their state funding was going to expire. They weren't going to get their next disbursement, and we had to act quickly. And we decided that the waiver process was going to be best. So we rallied some people from up here in the Speaker's office, and the town administrator, Malcolm Moore, and the current interim director of the library, and everybody got on board, and we got the waiver process done, and the money started flowing back to the library from the state, which it was 6 months in the making, but it's the kind of thing that shows you what can happen when you get all these people working together towards the same goal.
And Rep, it has to make you feel pretty good too, because a lot of folks take libraries for granted. A lot of other folks have to depend on libraries because they may not have a personal computer at their home. They may not be able to afford Netflix or Redbox. And the information and knowledge and services that libraries perform to a lot of Rhode Island families are really critical.
Absolutely, Dave. And one of the things that the West Warwick Library does in particular is they service the community of West Warwick with things like a jobs club. So those people who are unemployed can go there to get help with their resumes and trying to get out to get new jobs. And that's a very important thing in this economy, trying to get people back to work, and every little bit of help that they can get, especially the people who don't have computers at home. They don't have resources to print their own resumes. They can get that kind of help there. So it's not just the educational aspect that you get with students, but it's also the people who are unemployed, and it does help the community all around.
This would be a good time, I think, for me to just plug to our viewers. If you haven't been in your local library in a long time, you're going to be surprised what you find in there. And the people that work in the library services and our librarians, they really are a magnificent resource to any community. And I know the folks in West Warwick must be very, very pleased with that. You've done something else interesting, too. And I thought it's worth mentioning today. What you're doing with beer brewers and winemakers, and changing some legislation that would allow those folks to go to farmers markets and actually sell their wares. How did that come about, and how is that going?
Well, the woman who is heavily active in the West Warwick Farmers Market with the organization, her name's Barbara Tabak. She actually approached me with this. She had several wineries that she was, she's been in discussions with, trying to get them to come to the West Warwick Farmers Market, and due to state law, they can't legally sell their product at the farmers market. They can only do tastings, so there's no incentive for them to come. So this is it gives them the ability to sell their product while conforming to the existing state law of allowing them to do tastings, and it's really a win-win for everybody, because they would be able to sell their products that are locally grown, locally produced, so it's all local jobs and the money stays local. And farmers markets are a great way for a community to get together, and it really shows a lot of community spirit when people come and buy local products from their neighbors. And it's really a good thing to have farmers markets flourish in this.
Now, what's the status of that legislation as of this taping?
As of right now, there is a hearing on that bill after the break, which is 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from the 14th of February.
Well, good luck to you on that. And again, congratulations on what you did regarding the library in West Warwick. Representative Nunes, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
And most importantly, too, we couldn't do it without you. Thanks for tuning in. It's Capitol Spotlight from the Rhode Island State House.